All right, we're still waiting for this thing to. There we go. It's got me live now. Just gonna get this over there because no one cares about a blanket. Just make sure I feel a little bit. Sure, like. All right, all right. It's raining in New York, or at least where I am. We got no Yankees on tonight. I guess the Blue Jays are on right now, and I guess that's definitely a game of importance. So I will be giving updates on that game. They haven't even started yet, for what I can tell. Yeah, they really haven't started the game yet. So yeah, shoot me questions, whatever you've got. I'm gonna be here for about half an hour. Then at around 8:15, I'll sign off, go finish off eating dinner, and get ready for tomorrow. But seriously, I've got 30 minutes. Maybe I'll give you guys maybe a little bit more. Shoot questions, whatever you've got, Yankees, anything like that. Yeah, no, I don't know if my mic is working. That might be an issue because I haven't checked if my mic is working at all. But yeah, shoot questions if you guys have any at all. I mean, if you don't have questions, I mean, and if it be about anything, it doesn't have to be about Yankees. I'm baseball even. If you want to talk a little bit football, we can do that. But yeah. If you hear anything, it's my little brothers. They're just super loud. Can't do anything about that. Say Kyle Gashioka is better than Gary Sanchez if you hate Dominicans. All right, Gary Sanchez. Come on. Come on. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. I think this is just gonna be a Kyle Gashioka Gary Sanchez live stream, which would be pretty hilarious. But I do not hate Dominicans. I am Dominican myself. My parents both Dominican. But Gary Sanchez is not a better baseball player than Kyle Gashioka. Sounds like you hate Dominicans, maybe. I hope that I don't. I really hope that I don't, Gary. By the way, it was a big home run you hit last night. Great throw you made as well. Really proud of you, Gary. So nice to know you're watching. Sorry if I've been mean. I hope I haven't. I've tried to stay, away from what people say, like you're lazy or you're stupid. I think those are dumb criticisms. I think Gary Sanchez is a hard worker and a smart baseball player. But I just don't think he's better than Kyle Gashioka. Kyle Gashioka at like a 66 WRC plus in his career is a better player probably. It's been better than Gary's been with like a 106 WRC plus this year, just because of the defensive gap. Anyways, what's up? All right. Oh, hey man. What's up? Great to have you here. What's your prediction? What's your prediction on how the Yankees are going to do in these last 9 games? All right, so I don't think the Yankees sweep any of the series. Like, I just don't see that happening. I think if I'm going based off of matchups, I say Cole is a better pitcher than Eovaldi, and I would pick Cole to win, and then I'll pick Monty to win his start on Sunday. So I think the Yankees will lose Saturday, win Friday, win Sunday. Against Toronto, I think you'll see a similar pattern of winning 2 out of 3. I think 4-2 is definitely feasible because you have some of your best starters going. And that first game on Friday is very crucial. If you lose that first game, I think your postseason hopes might die there. But it also depends on how Toronto plays tonight. But I would say as of right now, 4-2, and then maybe 1-2 against Tampa. So like a 5-4, 6-3 kind of stretch. I don't see it being much better than that, just based on the quality of opponent they're facing. And just the fact that it's 9 straight, it's a gauntlet. Your bullpen's kind of going to get gassed. You're not really going to do – you're going to see a lot of weird things pitching-wise, and I think they're going to kind of have to throw in the towel a lot earlier in games than you want them to. So if it's like a 4-run game in the 7th, they're going to throw in Andrew Heaney. I don't think they're going to throw in Clay Holmes there, right? I think they're going to just say, you know what, live to fight another day. We cannot, expend our assets here because we're not going to win that game. So I think 6-4, 5-4, 6-3, 5-4 is where I have him at right now. Higgy better than Gary sounds a lot like LeMahieu's staying to me. I think it's a lot different of a comparison. because I think Higashioka has gotten better and it's sustainable. And I think Sanchez is just heavily limited by his defensive incapabilities. I think Stanton's clearly a much better player than Sanchez, much higher ceiling than Sanchez. I think LeMahieu's just different from the situation. I just think Higgy's a better player. I think Higgy just performs better and wins above replacement metrics. His defense is so good, and his offense has only gotten better. What's the status of Tyler Loaiza? Tyler made a rehab start, so he should be back soon. And Loaiza is going to have another bullpen today. Actually, it's supposed to be today. No, tomorrow. Excuse me, on Friday. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a situation where you're going to see Loaiza go back for the Toronto series and Tyone back for the Toronto series, or maybe the Tampa series. I don't think they're going to be back for Boston. I had people telling me Gary is an average defender at worst today. I love Gary. It's just he's just not an average defender. He's very clearly below. 2018 was his only good defensive season. And if he could ever replicate that defense, he would easily be better than Higashioka. The problem is just he's a below average defender. And Higashioka is an all-world talent defensively. That's the key difference right there. This isn't an argument of Gary Sanchez can't hit. Gary Sanchez is lazy because a 106 WRC plus for a catcher is pretty good. Or, Gary Sanchez doesn't have the talent, or Gary Sanchez doesn't care enough. It's none of those things. I think a lot of those things are just poor talking points, right? I think Gary does care. I think Gary works extremely hard. I think Gary Sanchez is a great character, a great person, and a guy I want in my clubhouse. I just don't think he's a better baseball player than Kyle Higashioka. And I don't think that has anything to do with, personal. I think it's just a defense thing. The only above average part of Gary's defense is pop time. His pop time, from what I remember, is pretty good. But in a day and age in which framing is valued so much because of the data out there that supports that framing is much more important than catching base runners, especially with the low frequency of stolen bases. It's diminished what's made him so good. That arm strength, that pop time, it's diminished his defensive value. And then when the offense is it's not great. It's good for a catcher, but it's not like generational. We're not talking like, top 5 offensive catcher in the league kind of stuff. That's when, it becomes a tricky situation. He's just not hitting well enough to support the not great defensive play. What would you say are the best catcher defense stats? FRAA, fielding runs above average, is a great defensive metric for catchers. Same thing as CDA, which is catcher defensive adjustment. Those are some really good metrics to use, baseline ones. We could just look at those two and say good defender, bad defender. And Higashioka is incredibly graded in both, and Sanchez is not so well graded in both. If a righty starts in the wild card, would Gary start? Obviously, Higashioka is a better defender, but you can't ignore the 30-point difference between them. I'm assuming that the point difference is in WRC plus. Against a righty, yeah, I can understand Gary Sanchez starting. I don't think Higashioka is like an elite catcher, but at the same time, to counter the argument about the 30 WRC plus difference, Higashioka with his 66 WRC plus in his career is a better baseball player than 2021 Gary Sanchez, who's a 106 WRC plus hitter. So that means that there's a 40 WRC plus gap, and Higashioka is still performing better in wins above replacement in a similar sample size. So in around 400 plate appearances with a 66 WRC plus, Higashioka is a better baseball player than Gary Sanchez is with a 106 WRC plus in his current day defense. And so, the 30 or 40 WRC plus gap isn't enough. It isn't enough to justify Higashioka being worse than Sanchez. Austin Wells starting catcher by 2023 opening day. I don't know if he sticks at catcher, so I don't know if he'll be an opening day catcher. Should I sub? Absolutely. I think this is a great place for Yankee content. I think you should sub. Unbiased, of course. Ryan, thoughts on Steven Matz and CJ Cron for options in the offseason so you could trade Voit for assets like a better starter or prospects? Steven Matz, and I'm assuming I think this is Carlos, right? I'm just assuming based on the numbers. And, just because Carlos has been bringing up, I know you brought up a lot of Steven Matz and CJ Cron on the timeline. Steven Matz is an incredible changeup, which you played well with Matt Blake. CJ Cron, I've been a big CJ Cron guy. Steven Matz on like a cheap contract definitely works as like a good starter, a good number 4 or 5. I think he's been really underrated this year. It's like an 86 ERA minus. So he's a pretty good pitcher. And if the Yankees bring him on a cheaper contract, that could definitely be a nice boost for the rotation. And then I agree with the CJ Cron part about trading Voit for prospects and getting CJ Cron. If CJ Cron's on a controllable contract and the assets you get for Voit are worth it, yeah, go ahead. That'd be a good idea. Crone's healthier. Crone's really good at what he does offensively, and he's a pretty solid defender. So I really like CJ. Yes, it's me. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't click. I just should, I'm just gonna go with my gut instinct. Gary Sanchez RBW bomb. What happened? Did like you tweet something? I mean, I don't. There's no news you can really tweet. I mean, it's not really it's no trade and stuff. So there is news. They're planning to activate him on Tuesday ahead of the series against. Okay, got it. Why is it back? That's great. That is great. That is incredible news. That is what you'd like to see. That is incredible news. What are your guesses on the number 5 starter next year after Cole, Sevy, Monty, and Jameson Taillon? I think it could be either Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt. Maybe the Yankees go out and grab someone. I think the most likely candidate is Luis Gil as of right now. Though I would maybe sign someone. I don't know how dependable Severino and Jameson Taillon are, or even Gil are for 180 innings next season. So I would sign someone. But I think Nestor Cortez Jr. Just completely forgot we had him. Yeah, Nestor's the 5. Yeah, Nestor. I don't know that. Completely forgot we had Nestor. Yeah, Nestor's the 5. Yeah, absolutely. Just wow, my memory's awful. Yeah, Nestor's the 5. Yeah, never mind. I don't have. Yeah, Nestor's the 5. Honestly, Nestor's like the 3 there or the 4 there. He's really good. So don't know what the brain was doing there. So to answer your question, yes, Cole, Sevy, Monty, Nestor, Jameson Taillon. That's probably our rotation next year. And then he'll get some starts. Schmidt gets some starts. Maybe you see some Medina in September. That's where I would say. So yeah. Keep shooting your questions. You guys are great with questions. If you have any, you can ask more than one. I'm not a like you only get one. Wait your turn. Like I like talking. So if I look sweaty, it's because I cannot turn on this fan without making a ton of noise. Then I can tell. It's not too bad. It's a little bad. The noise is kind of bad. So if you hear anything in the background, it's just a fan. No AC in the room. We do have an AC, but the one in my room isn't great. I'm gonna move like downstairs. So yeah. If Correa isn't the available for us, would you rather sign Jonathan Villar to a short-term deal or Siegs to a long-term deal? Seager to a long-term deal. I would sign Seager to a long-term deal or Villar short-term, just because I have the sample size of Seager at shortstop, and I think Seager's a really good hitter. He's like as a 140 WRC plus hitter in his last 650 play appearances, and he's projected at around a 1 WRC plus by Steamer. So you're getting one of the best offensive shortstops in baseball, and he's moving to third base after. So no problem with signing Seager long-term. Yeah, I think Seager would be great for us. Obviously, defense questions. He's like an average defender at shortstop, slightly below, which is definitely a problem. That's why I would just rather have Correa. But Seager isn't like a terrible option. I wouldn't like kill cash when we're getting Seager. So that's a pretty substantial move. It makes you a lot better. Seager's clearly a better hitter than Gleyber. He's a better defender than Gleyber. You get a lot better with Seager at shortstop than you do with Gleyber at shortstop. Do you think Gary Sanchez is a real person? Gary Sanchez RBW is a real person. He's got to be NPC with some of his tweets, man. He's a real person. Yeah, for sure. Definitely a real person. But he's a Harvard experiment. He simply is a Harvard experiment. He's a person, but he's a Harvard experiment at the same time. Mike Hoff. Those are the type of names will always make me laugh. Keep Gary or get someone to a platoon with Higgy. Trade Gary, get someone to platoon with Higgy. Yeah. Tucker Barnhart. Anyone. Just platoon with Higgy. That works for me. Maybe Jason Castro. What's Jason Castro doing offensively? Let's see. Jason Castro. Fangraphs. Jason Castro. What do you think Gleyber's career look like 3 years from now? 120 WRC plus second baseman with below average defense. I still believe in the bat. Isn't Gary going to be a FA? Not after this year. After next year. All right. Castro is a 94 WRC plus hitter right now, the 350 xWOBA, though he's an xWOBA merchant. That's kind of established. Barrels the ball, walks a lot, just hits a lot of ground balls. And he's a shift guy. He gets shit a lot. His framing has gotten worse this year, so that's an issue. He could be a decent platoon option, though. I would say I would have better options than Castro, maybe like Barn. Are you an Olsen to NYY truther? I think Olsen to NYY is a great idea, but I would prioritize a shortstop. So Olsen's not number one on my agenda of what we need. We need a shortstop first. But Olsen is obviously a phenomenal player, and I would love to have him in pinstripes. That's without a doubt. So yeah, I think Olsen's a great player. I think Olsen's ready to work, but I would like a shortstop, and I would like to prioritize that first. All right. So I think that answers that pretty decent. So we answered the Higgy question. We've answered this one. Okay. Just got to make sure, because my eyes got to make sure I am focused and I am getting questions. We're halfway through the live stream. We're 15 minutes, a little over 15 minutes into it. Glaber has this 120. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with the second base. Maybe it has. Maybe it does. I mean, I don't know Gleyber Torres personally. I just think it's a matter of Gleyber Torres is. I can't buy into the idea that Gleyber Torres is just suddenly not a good baseball. Especially at the age of 24. It doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't line up projections. Doesn't line up any of that stuff. So it seems like an outlier, really. So yeah, that's basic thoughts on it. Let's see. I'm going to end at 30 minutes, and I would love to extend a lot more, but I have a big thing coming up tomorrow, and I have to actually be ready and prepared and have clothes ready. And so I've got a long day ahead of me, and I've got to actually prepare for it. So sucks. I can't wait for the off season when things are kind of a little more calm, and I can do a lot more lives. I can go late. So yeah. He's been much better since the All-Star break. Yeah, I saw Dan Rourke's tweet. 113 WRC plus in the second half, which is good to see. When Juice Balls come back for the playoffs and LeMahieu, if Juice Balls come back for the playoffs, LeMahieu's having a revenge tour. He's having a 200 WRC plus. It's going to happen. I just know it. I know it. It's going to happen. And I would be obviously very open and welcome to that awesome philosophy. And Glaber's going to hit one of the philosophy of Gleyber Torres. So, it's just Gleyber Torres. You see, playoff Glaber is a different animal. And Gio would benefit from 3 plus. Him answering me, I don't know what took me so long to process Gio, but my brain's just melting, I guess, on live, which is pretty funny. Ooh, we got some more questions. What do you think they need to go up to get Olsen? Glaber, they need to go up a lot to get Olsen. Olsen's a very valuable baseball player. I think he'd be giving up a lot to get him. Glaber, Heel, something like that. LeMahieu and Gio's regression seem normal. They were both average hitters who benefited from Juice Balls, but Glaber's regression is so mysterious since he has such a good season in 2018. You just words out of my mouth. Just the words out of my mouth. I mean, that's perfectly put. That's perfectly. Couldn't have been any better. Glaber, has a great hit tool, and I just don't think it's fair to say that he's not that it's fair to say. I don't think he's going to be. I just don't think he's going to be this bad. It just doesn't seem right. So. I think Glaber is easily the more talented hitter of the three. So I will, and I think projections agree, but slight bit. But I also think LeMahieu will pick it up. I think LeMahieu is better than Gio as well. I think LeMahieu is a 110 WRC plus hitter. I think Urshela is a 100 WRC plus hitter. So, yeah. I think Glaber's a more talented hitter than out of the three. Glaber's a more talented hitter. LeMahieu second behind Gio, or in front of Gio behind Glaber. That's how I'd rank their talent levels offensively. That doesn't mean they're going to play like that. I think LeMahieu could overperform. That's possible. And I think LeMahieu is very underrated offensively in the sense that I think his tools offensively are good. He walks a lot. I think, exactly. I think he's worth his contract and he puts up a 110 WRC plus. And it's not to justify this bad year. I'm very critical of LeMahieu. He's been really, really not good this year, and he's really hampered the Yankees a lot offensively. And I don't think he should lead off, or maybe he should have that spot evaluated. However, at the same time, I do think that DJ LeMahieu is a better hitter than like garbage. Like I don't think he's the worst hitter on the team. I don't think he should hit ninth. I don't think he should hit eighth. I don't think he should hit seventh. Who's gone this offseason? Gio or Voit? I would say Gio. I would say Gio's gone. When the entire lineup overperforms to win the World Series, yeah, that'd be dope. I would love to see a World Series. That'd be dope. I don't think it happens, but yeah, that'd be great. When Hicks comes back next season, would you rather play him play DH or center field more? Left field. He has to play the field. As a DH, he's not that valuable. He's not a good enough hitter to be a DH. Usually, I want my DHs at around a 130 WRC plus. Most likely player on the team to be gone, chance to re-sign Rizzo. Okay, most likely player on this team to be gone in the offseason. Out of guys who are under contract for next season, Gio Urshela. Obviously, the free agents, I don't think they bring back Kluber and Heaney, but I don't think it's really fair. Like Heaney, obviously, he's not getting brought back over Urshela. But Urshela, I think, is going to be a guy who gets booted. Most likely, and then chance to get Rizzo, 50%. Depends on how much money he wants, really. If he wants a lot of money, if he doesn't want a lot of money, he'll stay. If he wants a lot of money, he'll go. That's how I see it. What does the bullpen look like next year? All right. Let me just pull up a Google Sheets because I have had some of this stuff mapped out in my head for a while. So just give me a second. Let me answer this next question that's loading. Tyler Wade, World Series MVP. Tyler Wade is a phenomenal base runner. I completely slept on Tyler Wade. He's been a lot better than I thought he'd be, and I'm very proud of him. That being said, he deserved all the negative press he got when I was giving him negative press. Okay? Mike Hawk is in the chat. Mike Hawk is the boy. Respect him. Okay. Clay Holmes, Joey Rodriguez, Aroldis Chapman, John Tulwise, good Chad Green, Michael King, and Wani Peralta, and Lucas Licky. That's our bullpen next year. That's what I'll say our bullpen looks like next year. Or I would have brain said Licky. I don't know. But I think I would say the locks are Holmes, Rodriguez, Chapman, Loizaga, Green, and King. Those are your locks. Maybe Writing sneaks in there. And Peralta. Maybe Writing sneaks in there. Maybe, I don't know what Lucas Licky's contract situation's like. It's so unclear. And Abreu might sneak in there. But I think you're going to see, if Licky's under contract for next year, Licky's a lock. I think Writings and Abreu are going to battle it out for the last roster spot because I think Writings is a really good reliever. And I think he has incredible stuff. And he's all beautiful. So, yeah. Let's check out. I know Steven Writings has been hurt, so that's why he hasn't come up. So yeah. But yeah, he was really good at his small sample size. He was dealing. He was dealing, straight dealing, man. Keep shooting your questions. Bench options for next year. Brad Miller. I love Brad Miller. Any free agent starting pitchers you'd be interested in? Carlos, who is a GOAT and is incredible and pushes the best. Steven Matz, Alex Wood. Top guys, I would say Robbie Ray, obviously. I would say of the mid-tier guys, though, Matz, Wood, Desclafani. Not, I would say Desclafani's a little bit, he's probably going to get more money than I would pay him. And yeah, I would say those two. I would say those two are my two big guys. And I would say Paxton on like a minor league contract would be cool. DJ Wanky fan here. Oh, hold on, man. I don't know why I shouldn't. I should have. I should just put on my glasses so I can read a little bit better. But I think I read that right. Yeah. What's up, man? Shoot questions. We are at the nearly hitting the final 5-minute stretch, which is going to be chills. Just marking some tweets that I Ask questions. You guys. I'm just here to answer questions. I mean, this is fun for me. It's not like I'm doing this and it's like labor. I think I have to do something like right now. So if you guys give me like a few seconds, I might have to end early because I have a meeting, school stuff. Would I keep Odor for next season? Yes. Free labor. That sounds really awful. Free stuff. Free player. I'm gonna have to end early. Would Florio be playing more? Not right now. Next season should be the fourth outfielder and platoon with Castro. Thoughts on Barnhart propaganda? Propaganda. I love Barnhart. Good defender. Not that great of a hitter, but that's fine because he's only gonna be playing against right-handed pitching, which he can do solid against. Great framer. Should be a Yankee if he's available. I think that'll wrap it today. Gotta run into this journalism meeting like right now. So I'll see you guys. All right. Crying out. I gotta go run over to this. I love you guys. Seriously. I love all of you. I love like all of you. Every single one of you. Okay. I'm out.